I shall begin by sharing with you what we have learned as the Free Staters, or the key lessons or takeaways on the mathematics teaching and learning framework for South Africa. Now, this teaching mathematics for understanding framework has been developed for teaching and learning context for South Africa, which simply means that when the document was designed, it had the South African learner in mind. It has been designed for transformation of teaching practice and also to be implemented in the context of a learning-centered classroom, where the learners and teachers are expected to engage actively, having discussions and experimenting the fundamental mathematical skills. We will do our training in 4 phases, the first one being the dry run training for the six Free State representatives that are here today. We will also do subject advisor training, which will take place for 2 days, and that will happen in the month of August. We will follow that up with the SMT advocacy training, which will take place for 2 hours. That is scheduled for the end of August. And then for our departmental heads, we will have 4 lots, workshop 1, 2, 3, 4, focusing on each topic, starting in September all the way to November, to ensure that come 2026, our teachers are ready to fully implement the mathematics improvement program. Ladies and gentlemen,
inside the framework, we have learned that we need to have a learner-centered approach that is also providing a structure for our teachers so that they can present mathematics and teach mathematics for understanding. And the other presentations that were made for us includes the use of CPA approach. We all know it is very important for the learners to start with concrete, pictorial, before they move to abstract. So the CPA approach also came through in the different topics that was also addressed, which include 1, problem solving.
And our key findings as a group. So we looked at the national framework, and here the focus was on the 4 dimensions and the learning-centered classroom, which stood out for the subject advisors here. We are going to make sure that it is aligned to the content that is going to be presented to our DHs, and that our DHs continuously refer to the 4 dimensions during the rollout and in the workshops.
And then we've got mental maths. In mental maths, the lesson learned is that mental maths can reinforce the bonds, as well as the 4 different structured methodologies, which uses the 25 frame or the charts, as well as the 100 frame, and the way how we use those instruments, which are the charts, 25 as well as 100, and they are grade appropriate for and specified for each grade.
This session seeks to enhance the learning through concrete, pictorial, as well as abstract approach, which is one thing that we need to see in our classrooms. And I must indicate that it was very enriching and impactful. I'm basing this on the reflections that we have just had from all the provinces that presented before us, to say what is it that they have gained, what is it that they are taking home, and what is it also that they have gained in terms of their own professional development. So my reflection also might not be away from what we have said, because I took some time, Doc, to be in one of the sessions just to listen to what was happening.
the importance and the way
in which the CPA, which is the utilization of your manipulative approach, should be implemented, was well presented. It is clear that through concrete, pictorial, as well as abstract, learners can be scaffolded to develop much deeper skills for mastery. And then the mathematical use of language. We have been provided with dictionaries, and these dictionaries provide enrichment in language. It also makes it easy for teachers to code switch. Let me just share something that was very interesting, that we had some discussion about code switching as well as translanguaging, as to trying to find out what the real difference is between the two. But teachers will now find a way to code switch or to translanguage so that learners can understand the content that the teacher will be dealing with in class.
We are having the documents to use when training the teachers, but let me indicate that this document, Mathematics Teaching and Learning Framework for South Africa, was not given attention in Mpumalanga, just have to be honest. But what we are going to do from now henceforth, we are going to include the document in our monitoring tool, because when we monitor schools, there are documents that we are checking, the CAPS, the NPAs, the NPPPR, the assessment frameworks, and so forth. Then we are also going to add this one so that we can be able to monitor its implementation by the teachers. And most of the schools will say they do not have the document.
So I'm going to share what the Northwest subject advisors have learned and the learning, the teaching and the learning opportunities that they have acquired in this maths improvement program. So firstly, we realized that the maths improvement program is the program that DBE has designed for all the provinces to do the same, meaning before the face-to-face, and then they are going to train for 3 days from the 5th to the 7th of August 2025. And then Dr. Ruth will be training from the 12th to the 16th of August, and then Bujanala will be training from the 30th July to the 1st of August. So after they have trained the departmental head will be training the teachers, and then the subject advisors together with myself will be monitoring the implementation. Thank you.
As soon as we have trained our other subject advisors, we will then move to advocacy to the principals and the SMTs of the schools that we would have selected or chosen, or if it is going to be a full-out implementation for the whole province. Then there will be other plenary meetings and dry runs to train first the departmental heads and then the teachers. Monitoring of this process is going to happen ongoing. And this is what Gauteng is in store for you.
Fortunate because we learned about the mental math strategy. It's a structured mental strategy for 10 minutes. And as a province, we are going to encourage the use of the mental math strategy. And as a province, we are already using it in all our schools. It's even taken up to the provincial level. We also learned how best we can teach our learners the problem-solving strategies. We also learned how is it easy to use the CPA approach to teach the problem-solving.
Okay, the MIP program has these documents. Others are for support, and the CAPS as well as DBE workbooks. As the subject advisors from the Eastern Cape, we learned that the MIP framework is not a new thing. It was launched in 2018 and was field tested from 2019 to 2024. Also that its focus is on CPA approach.
We all know that the National Maths Challenge is clearly reflected in the country's assessments that we do. And we see that we're not faring well in the terms and in our own, even in our own systemic evaluations. So, the expected knowledge and skills as described under our South African systemic evaluation levels outline the shift for less demanding to the more demanding cognitive skills. And every bit of training that we received, that the subject advisors received here for the 2 days, spoke to that. So hence the conceptualization of the National Maths program in the foundation phase in 2025, and this will progressively grow in the next 2 years while providing continued support to the previous phases in each year.
Colleagues, this has been emphasized, that we need to encourage our teachers to utilize the resources at their disposal. And if I can tell you, we struggle to get our teachers explaining what they have. I therefore want to urge the subject advisors here to also, amongst other things that you are taking to schools, please let the teachers use what they have. It is not like they have nothing. They have something.